We are back again, YouTube, with another video. This time we're going to be going through a full back pull session where we do back and biceps. So it's the third session of the week. I train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and have Thursday off. The main reason that we've got pull as my third session is I'm strongest from the back at the moment. So when you look at my physique and judge my physique, my rear shot is like my strongest shot. So if I am carrying any fatigue over into my sessions from Monday and Tuesday's session, we want my strongest body part to be the one where I can put the least intensity in. However, we're still training full, we're still training hard. Obviously, we're not looking to, and we're trying to do everything and manage everything to stop me from taking any fatigue into that session. However, legs need smashing, so that's why we start the week fresh with legs on Monday and coming out of a back-to-back refeed as well. Now, let's talk about pre-workout nutrition. So first of all, pre-workout, I always want to have high carbohydrates, high GI carbs as well. So that just means nice and sugary. So I had one Pop-Tart with my breakfast, with my porridge. We've got the other Pop-Tart here. We then have one rice cake with 20 grams of jam on. And I think I've found the secret to the ultimate pump. So you've got another rice cake, and we have a pickle on it. So you're going to have some electrolytes from the pickle, but also a load of sodium. And I had this exact combination yesterday, and it was arguably the best session I've ever had. So we're going to take this, because correlation and causation are two very different things. So we're going to take this, see if it's the same. I did trial a new pre-workout yesterday as well. So I'm going to swap out the pre-workout and see if it is the fuel. Hopefully it is the fuel. And that will be sweet. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride as we go through a full back session with a little bit of biceps. Look, with this hoodie on, can't even tell that I fucking lift. Fun.
So we're going to trial a little voiceover throughout this session, see how it works, and then going forward we'll do different talking to the camera when I'm in the gym as well. Here we're just warming up the shoulders with some cable internal and external rotations. One of my pet peeves is when I see people doing this exact movement holding a dumbbell. Other than a bicep isometric, you aren't loading anything really in the right plane. So get a cable and get it pulling you externally and internally, so inwards and outwards. Probably do 10 to 15 each side, and then I go into light cable pullovers, so 20 repetitions, only one set, real slow and controlled. And you can see I use 2 ropes so I can get a nice range of motion all the way back past towards my pockets. Okay, so if you have one rope, sometimes your hands will be a little bit closer. Not that I'm the widest guy, but still. Then we go straight into face pulls. Again, this is going to be about 20 reps, keeping that nice and high. Try and squeeze our core so we're not moving too much through our torso. And into the first movement, we have got a dual cable lat pull down, neutral grip. We're going to have a warm-up set here, so sort of 10 to 15, slow and controlled. See how we're feeling, how everything's going with that, and in a second we will strap up and go for the first working set. So once we have strapped in, we're going to sit down, make sure that our legs are nice and locked in place. Boom. And then we're going to start to just lean back a tiny bit, retract our shoulder blades, so a slight, like a reverse shrug, pull our shoulders back and down. And then we're going to think elbows to pocket, nice big squeeze at the bottom if we can, keep that chest proud and slow and controlled on the way up. Again, so we do 3 working sets of 10 to 12, 8 to 12. I want to be finishing within that rep range. Here, got a little messy towards the end. I think the final rep, don't quite get my elbows as deep as I want to, but all in all, the weight was matched from our set. There you go, really straining. Should have got a little bit deeper, but we're happy with that. Next we have a chest supported row. I opt to go for this single arm simply because you can see from the back angle as well, I do drop my shoulder, so when I'm rowing with my left here, my left shoulder is sitting a tiny bit lower. I can just get a little bit more engagement from my lat there. Again, we're going 8 to 12 each side, trying to keep our chest pressed up against that pad, and the opposite contralateral arm is going to be locking across. As you can see, it's coming across my chest, locking me and bracing me. Nice big squeeze and then a big stretch as we come forward. Job done. So as you can see, the pump cover has come off as we're going into some pull-ups, mainly because I don't want to be pulling up an extra 300 grams of a hoodie. No, obviously we're feeling nice and warm now, and we wanted to go into some wide grip pull-ups. I say wide grip, so my forearms are remaining perpendicular to the ground throughout. That's the width that I find I engage nicely with, and it feels comfortable. From here, I think this was my third set, so the last one is a little bit of a grinder, but happy with the tempo. Should probably start adding a bit of weight to these soon. These are the few exercises that as you get lighter, they tend to get easier as we're pulling up a little less. 3 sets of 10 to 12. Next up is the chest supported T-bar row. For this, take it roughly, again, just wider than shoulder width apart, so there are different grip widths that we can take. If we take it really wide and flare our elbows, it's going to be a little bit more rear delt upper back, and the following exercise after this, that's the goal of that. So that's why we keep our elbows tucked roughly at about 45 degrees, get a fairly nice lat engagement here. I'm not a huge fan of the T-bar row as a movement. It's something that I've just struggled to progress, so hence why we've got it in. And now here we have a very, very similar movement. As you can see, we've got our hands wide, our elbows a lot higher. This normally was on a Smith machine, but the Smith machine was taken, so we've thrown this variation in instead, and it felt a lot better. For this, we were doing 15 to 20, 3 sets, fairly high rep there, you can see, just to toast our upper back, rear delt. And it felt nice, so I think we're going to keep it in and take the Smith machine out. So everything happens for a reason. Sorry, I had to leave that little musical section in there because you know we've got to pump it up. Every session's got to finish with a little bit of biceps. It hasn't. The pull session and the upper session do. Here we've got the real fat D handles because the normal D handles were taken. So Andy has actually found some that he had at home, so we will never be in this situation because this toasted me a little bit. But I managed to match reps, match weight with it, so I was happy with this. I'll aim for 12 to 15, however normally at around 8-9 reps I'll go for alternating, but I'll start to try and do them both at the same time. I think arms have always been a little bit of a weakness for me, so I'm happy with how they're looking, simply because the majority of my training I've always trained for performance over aesthetics, so mainly focusing on Olympic weightlifting or bench squat deadlift. So happy with how the biceps are coming along. I think this is the first program where I've had sort of 4 bicep exercises, 2 on this and 2 on my upper body day, which maybe we will get to see one day in the near future, depending how this goes. Here's just Andy with some cinematic views, repping the Braves t-shirt as always. But yeah, 3 sets of 12 to 15, slow and control. Start bilaterally. When we get a little bit too hard, we chopped to unilateral like this. When you do that, you can focus on one side a little more. My elbows do come forward a little bit. I'm not overly concerned. I'm not swinging. I feel like they are fairly controlled movements still. So all in all, happy with how these are progressing, and we shall keep on going with them. And after that little flex off, we have one final movement, the single arm dumbbell preacher. I'd like to say this is a love-hate movement for me, but it's a hate movement for me. I just really struggle to progress on it. I think I've been at 10 kilograms for sets of 10 for a long time now. However, we're progressing on all the prior lifts, all the pulling motions and curls before, obviously pre-fatigue that bicep a huge amount. So as long as I can continue with these, keep them super slow, super controlled, keep that elbow down and myself locked in there, and then milk the eccentric. Again, 3 sets of 10 to 12 either side, and that is job done. All in all, happy with how the session went. The pre-workout combo seemed to work. Got a fairly nice pump again, so we're looking forward to what's going to be the final package we bring. Still carrying on with the 5 days training, so push, pull, legs, push, pull, rest, lower, upper, rest, and repeat. So we're carrying on with that. All in all, another awesome session. Any comments with rep ranges, exercise order, or if you'd like to see a specific session, let me know. And we will catch you again in the next video. And as always, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. The support I've had so far has been awesome. I appreciate all of you. Thank you. Much love.